If there's one thing that separates average athletes from iconic athletes, it's their mindset. Think about it. How they see situations and perceive them is much different than the rest. Dominant athletes go into situations where everybody else is worried, in control, focused, calm. Whereas athletes that are just average are going into situations scared, anxious, and frustrated. If you want to be a top athlete who dominates, you too need to adopt these mindsets. And in today's video, I'm going to give you the 5 mindsets that we find destroy athletic performance and the 5 things you can do instead to be a dominant athlete. Hey everyone, my name is Matt Calderoni, co-founder of Molliteum, where we help athletes discover and reach their true potential by building their resilience. And since 2015, we've helped just over 5,300 athletes from the youth to pro level in leagues like the NHL, NFL, NBA, and so many more with athletes like Kyle Kuzma, Larry Markkinen, DJ Reed, and Dylan Cousins. First off, what even is mindset? So many people throw that term around. There's mindset coaches, mindset this, mindset that, motivation. Is it discipline? Is it this? Very simply put, your mindset is this. It's an established set of attitudes and beliefs that you carry with you based on the current state of mind that you're in. Your mindset can be an empowered one where you feel like you're dominant, where you have beliefs within yourself that you feel you can handle anything being thrown at you and your attitudes represent that. Or you can be in a disempowered one where you feel like you're weak and you're frustrated and you're anxious. Point is that your mindset's actually controlled by 3 things: your physiology, or the way that you use your body, your focus, or what you decide to focus on, and your language, or the way that you decide to talk to yourself. Think about it for a second. Somebody who's depressed versus somebody who's empowered. Usually they're low and slouched versus the empowered person who's standing up nice and tall. The person who's in a bad mindset is usually focused on the negatives, where the person who's in an empowered mindset is focused on the positives. The person who's in a negative mindset, they're more talking to themselves about how they can't do something, where the empowered person is telling themselves, I can do it. The point is, these 3 things are ultimately what control your attitudes and your beliefs. Now, one of the most important things that will impact your mindset, funny enough, is your environment. This is why we say you are a sum of the 5 people that you hang around with, meaning that the people you're often hanging around with, you often adopt that mindset because they're in your environment. Now, if you want to become dominant, there's 2 things you need to do. Number 1, you need to start becoming aware of what your current mindsets are. That's why today we're going to dive into the 5 things that disempower your mindset. The second thing then is you need to take control. And once you take control to change those mindsets and actually do it when you become aware, you become empowered. Now, quick disclaimer, what's going to make this video actually work for you is 2 things. Number 1, becoming aware of the current mindset that you're in, or the 5 dangers that we're going to show you about right now. And number 2, consciously taking control. If you're just watching this video to watch this video and just to learn a bit, it's not going to do much for you. If you actually use this video to become aware and then apply, I'm promising you right now, you will be able to change that mindset. Now, with that being said, let's first dive into the 5 disempowering mindsets that hold you back from dominating in performance. Mindset number 1, having a victim mentality. A victim mentality is that when you think that everybody's out to get you, or the negative things only happen to you, or that you've tried everything in your power but still nothing will change, aka learned helplessness. And the reason that you buy into this is because maybe you're going through a situation where you feel like you've tried to change things but it just won't work, or maybe you feel like your conditions are so bad where you have, let's say, a coach who's super tough on you or whatever, that it's just always falling on you. This victim mentality, though, happens as a result of you or somebody else telling you a consistently disempowering story. Now, the solution to this, if you are in this mentality, is the following. The truth is that high performance can sometimes make you feel as though you're not good enough, right? You're in an environment with a lot of people who are performing at a top level, and you feel as though it's only negative. It happens. You need to change this story around and realize this. You are being given challenges for a reason, and that's the mentality of adopting to the victim mentality. Meaning that if you're going to change your mindset, you're being given these challenges. That coach that's always tough on you and putting you down, or that teammate that's always better than you that you feel like you can't get better on, or whatever it might be, these challenges are happening for you to grow. Whenever we have an athlete that comes to us here at Molliteum talking about how they're the victim all the time, we actually flip it on its head and say this: hey, you're going through these challenges for a reason. If you grew because of this challenge, if you learned how to deal with that tough coach, if you learned how to get out of that situation, would you be a better athlete? The answer is always going to be yes. And it's like, okay, then let's solve for that. So number 1, you need to flip your mindset from the victim to understanding that challenges are there for a reason. It's your choice whether or not you want to face them head on or let them be the thing that causes your demise. Mindset number 2, you feel entitled to success. Here's one of the biggest mindset traps we see with many athletes we work with. They feel like just because they got success before, they can now somewhat take their foot off the gas or stop doing what they were doing that made them successful. They think that success now is kind of just something they should be given instead of something they need to earn like they did before. The truth is this: Every time you've been successful as an athlete, you've earned that success. You've gone through the trials, the tribulations, the hard work, and you were doing the extra work that made you successful. It's funny, we have an NHL player that we work with who came up to me the other month and goes, Matt, I'm not getting the success I want anymore. I said, dude, what are you doing that's different? He goes, well, I'm working at practice. I said, but are you working as hard and as intently as you were before? He goes, not really. And right there, that's the mentality. Well, I was successful, so it should just happen now. Doesn't work that way. The moment he got back to doing the things he did before, he changed his mindset. Everything else changed for him. He got more consistent. He was playing better. He got out of his cold streak. Now he's on a hot streak. So what you need to realize is this. Sometimes you're going to go through this mindset where you feel like everything I touch turns to gold. Do not fall into that mindset trap. Instead, your mindset needs to be this. If you're one that thinks, well, I'm going to be successful no matter what. You need to think this instead. So long as I put in the intense and intentional work, I can get any result I want. That's the mindset now from now on. So don't fall into this victim trap of, oh my gosh, I'm successful, so now I'm going to be successful again going forwards. Instead, it's as long as I'm intentional and intense with my work, I can get any result I want. If you have that mindset, I promise you won't fall off. Mindset number 3, you're unwilling to change anything. This is by far one of the worst mindsets you can have, and I'll tell you why. If you haven't realized this up to this point, you have to right now. Success is something that requires adaptation. Any great athlete that you ever see in the world has had to adapt their approach many times until they succeed. It's that simple. If you've ever been wondering what do the best do that allow them to be successful, they just have more of a willingness to change their approach and adapt things until they become successful than the majority do. Think about it. You hear about this all the time in history. The great Tom Brady, drafted 199th overall. All he did until he became the starting quarterback for the New England Patriots, kept adapting and adapting and adapting, and every single year he got better and better and better. If you're an athlete who's closed off in a way to change anything that they're doing, it's never going to work. It's funny. This past year, we had an athlete, an NFL player. He's going to get a massive contract this year. His biggest thing at the start of the summer, he goes, Matt, I'm completely changing my team. We're going to keep you guys. We're going to completely change the team. I said, why is that? He goes, well, my agent, I don't trust him to get the job done. I feel like there's somebody else who can do better. I feel like I can get a better strength coach. I feel like I can get a better nutritionist. I feel like I can get a better chef. Went and put all these different things into play, even though he was already successful. Now, I'm not saying you need to change things just to change things, but I'm saying this. You need to keep adapting to get to the next level. Find what works, find what's not. Keep the things working, immediately get rid of the things that don't, and adapt. Think of it. Planes only fly on course 10% of the time, right? 5% of the time when they take off, 5% of the time when they land. 90% of the time, they're constantly adapting their approach until they get to the end result. You need to be the same way. So if you're unwilling to change, you need to change your mindset to this right now. I always need to keep what works, and I need to get rid of the things that don't as quickly as possible. If you have this mindset of keep the things that work, get rid of the things that don't ASAP, you're always going to be open to change. Now, I'm not saying you need to change the things that are working for you. Keep those. But I'm going to tell you this right now. If you're not willing to change things, the last step before you become successful is adapting. And if you're not adapting and willing to adapt and you have a closed mindset or a fixed mindset, you're never going to get to that next level. Number 4, you're somebody that looks at feedback as a negative thing. Here's the truth. If you're looking at feedback as a negative thing and you're taking it personally, then you haven't learned what that next level really is. The key is this. Top athletes in the world are constantly seeking feedback from trusted sources. This is the key to everything. If your mindset is closed off to feedback because you take it personally, I'm telling you right now, you're missing a plethora of opportunity that's sitting in front of you to continuously get better and innovate your game. The best athletes in the world are looking for feedback from those they trust. Now, the key is this. If you're taking feedback from someone you don't trust, someone who hasn't been there and hasn't been at that next level, you're wasting your time. If you're not taking feedback, though, simply because you're scared, you need to shift your mindset to this. Feedback has to become your weapon. And when you change your mentality to understanding feedback is my weapon, it's not a bad thing, all of a sudden you start opening your mind to different hearings and different opportunities to get better. I'm not telling you to go take on everybody's opinion. That's probably one of the worst things you can do. What I'm saying is you need to do this. Number 1, identify 1, 2, or maximum 3 people that you trust that can give you specific feedback who's already been successful at a level you want to be at. For example, someone who's been a pro and helping you get feedback on what pros do, that's a person you want to trust. Somebody who's played your position before at the level you want to get to, let's say the NCAA level, that's the person to trust. Mom or dad, as much as I love them, who haven't played at that next level yet, who's just giving you feedback to give you feedback, Probably not a good idea. Now, I'm not saying that you don't take their feedback in any way. They can give you feedback for different things like, values and belief systems. But if you're talking specifically about bettering your athletic performance and enhancing that athletic performance, you need to be taking feedback from those that you can absolutely trust and those who have already dominated at that next level. So your new mindset is this: feedback is a weapon for me, and I need to use it and weaponize that feedback or I won't get to that next level. The final mindset is not taking responsibility. Here's the truth. Every result you're currently getting is a reflection of you. I know it's like, well, Matt, but there's this coach and I'm not getting the opportunity and I'm not getting the playing time and da-da-da-da-da. Listen, all of that is irrelevant. It's your decisions, not your conditions, that determine how successful you are. I have seen athletes that we work with who are only getting small amounts of minutes but are finding maximum results in that. Why? Because they decided the kinds of results and impact they want to have. I have seen athletes who got shafted by a coach before and are still able to get the results they want. Why? Because they decided they want to go get those results and get better on a daily basis. There's an NBA player we work with, phenomenal 22-year-old kid, breaking through the organization he's playing with. But here's the reality. He's only getting 5 to maybe 12 minutes a night because he's a rookie. But his stats in those time are matching what a full-time starter in the NBA would get, but for that given time block. My point is, it doesn't matter what you're given, what condition you have. It's what you do with it. And if you're somebody that's saying, well, it's everybody else's fault and you're passing blame, then you can't take responsibility as well for your success. It's that simple. You need to understand the good comes with the bad, right? If you're going to take responsibility for being successful, you also have to take responsibility for when you're not successful. And I know this sounds tough, but the truth is, when you start to do this and you look yourself in the mirror and you say, hey, because of this, I'm not successful, because I'm not putting in the work, because I'm making excuses, immediate power comes in you. So you need to realize this. The new mindset is the following. No matter what, I'm fully in control. And the moment you get that back and you take that back, I've seen this do wonders for people, work wonders for people that are depressed, athletes that are going through tough times. The moment you start to take that control and say, I'm in control no matter what, you unlock a power within yourself. So the new mindset, no matter what, I'm in control and I will take control. And if you do that, I'm guaranteeing any situation can be navigated through. And there you have it. You now have your 5 mindsets that will allow you to dominate. So if you got value from this video, please like, subscribe, click the notification bell, share it. If there's another mindset that you have that you want to comment down below, please do. I would love to hear, we would love to hear exactly what that empowering mindset is. And if you're an athlete who's serious about taking their mental game to the next level, we do have slots open right now to work with us in one of our one-on-one coaching programs. We take on 2 athletes a week. Spots are limited. All you need to do is apply down below on the link by clicking it. It will take you there and we'll see if you're a good fit for our program and if we can help you in any way. So with that being said, stay resilient and we'll see you in the next one. So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the full podcast episode, click right here.